Tiffany Meek's lawyer raised concerns over the timeline presented by witnesses who alleged that Meek returned to the apartment at around 4 a.m. after spending the night at her mother's house on the day in May that Jayden-Lee was reported missing. However, the investigating officer stood by the witness's testimony, stating that the body was discovered by a resident and an on-duty security guard shortly after Meek had left the building that morning.
The statements given under oath are that when she arrived, she was alone, and according to her, she locked the flat and left, and no one has ever gone, and there was only one set of keys. Therefore, if she only had one set of keys, how could the second person be into the house? How would that person could have gotten access to the house?
How do you know the accused only had one set of keys?
She said so in her affidavit.
She could have been lying.
Under oath.
Because she lied about everything else.
Under oath.
According to you.
The defense also questioned claims that the community had turned against Meek, citing the involvement of two private investigating firms that had offered to help track down who they believe to be the real perpetrator.
That private investigation company can bring another suspect before the court, and the state is forced to withdraw the charges against the applicant. That same community members will stand by the applicant and her family and oppose that suspect's bail.
Naidu challenged the state by asking whether any neighbors had heard sounds coming from Meek's apartment on the day of the alleged assault on Jayden-Lee.
Had the child been assaulted so severely, I know it's an assumption as well, surely with the close proximity of the flats, people could have heard the child crying or screaming for help.
To answer that question, if you push a person once against the wall and the person passes, no one would hear any voice, because you'll never hear a voice if a person dies from that pushing.
But there were other injuries.
Yes, you push a person against the wall and the person comes and hit with the face. If that is the case and the person passes from there, you'll never hear a voice of that person.
Meek will spend another weekend behind bars as the bail hearing will continue for closing arguments on Monday. Judgment is expected on Tuesday next week. Lopang Alamu, SABC News, Johannesburg.